Hello and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name is Candace and I make sewing patterns and sewing videos. And today we're gonna make baby clothes. So I have not one, but two nephews arriving this summer and fall. So I wanted to sew some pants and shorts and overalls for them. I feel like it's really hard to find cute boy clothes. I have two boys of my own. Most of what you can find out there in stores is vehicle themed, dinosaur themed, or sports themed, which is not really my vibe. My one son is very much into dinosaurs and vehicles. So, I understand why most of those clothes have those things on them, but sometimes I just want to dress them in like cute, colorful clothes that aren't covered in one of those themes. So I'm mainly going to be working with thrifted fabrics. I thrifted a couple men's shirts and some fabric, and we're going to sew two patterns that I bought on Etsy. Here are all the fabrics that I'm going to use for these projects, and most of them are thrifted. To just kind of like simplify things, I'm going to use only two patterns today. I want to just do a bunch of elastic waist shorts and pants, and then a couple pairs of overalls. I know that's very ambitious given that it's 10:30 right now and I want to finish this by 3:30. But I think if I batch cut and sew, it's going to be easier. And elastic waist pants, I probably don't even need to look at the instructions. But anyways, these are the fabrics that I got. I found this one when I was thrifting last week, and it's a linen, I think it's a runner, or maybe it's like a kitchen towel, I'm not really sure. It's this really nice orange color with this adorable little bird cross stitch on it. But I thought it was just adorable because it's kind of like a mom and a baby, which is perfect for a baby gift clothing item. So I think I'm gonna try to make these into the overalls. I don't know if I have enough of it, we'll see. And this is the next fabric I have. It is a white and yellow striped cotton, I think. And I have about 2 yards of it, so I can make a whole bunch of shorts. Then I have a couple of men's button-up shirts. I found this really nice cotton seersucker one with blue and white stripes. This one was $12.49. It's a gingham summer. And the best place to find gingham is in the men's shirt department, and they are usually 100% cotton, which I also love. So if you're looking for gingham, definitely do not skip the men's shirt section. But this shirt was $12.99. It's an XXL, so I can probably fit at least 2 pairs of pants from this. So this one will also be the Clover Pants. And lastly, I'm gonna make overalls from this recycled denim that I got from Blackbird a few years ago, quite a while probably. It's a really beautiful denim, and I had planned to make myself jeans or a pair of shorts from it, but I have learned in the last few years that I am not a fan of non-stretch denim or super hard pants. So this is gonna be perfect for a pair of baggy overalls. And I have quite a lot of this, so I can make a bunch of overalls. My 3-year-old actually loves overalls because I've been wearing them lately, so he wants to wear them. And there is nothing cuter than a toddler in overalls, so I'm gonna make him a pair too. And these are the patterns I'm gonna use. This one is the overall pattern. It's by The Ordinary Folk. The other pattern I'm using is the Clover Pants by Tiny Folk Patterns. This is a big pile, and it's probably very ambitious to try to sew all of this, but I'm gonna batch cut everything with my projector and batch sew everything. So hopefully I can get it all done. Before we get to cutting, I need a beverage, so I'm gonna go make myself an iced matcha latte. So I've been really enjoying filming these daily and weekly vlogs, and my goal with them when I started was to make a cozy little space where I could hang out with you guys. But I've noticed when I edit them that they're not quite as cozy as I had initially imagined they would be, and I think that's because of the season of life that I'm in. I have 2 boys, one is 3 and one is 6, and parenting little ones is one of the hardest jobs I've ever had. I often feel really unorganized and frazzled, and I feel like I'm really not thriving, I'm just surviving, as opposed to a lot of the other moms I see on social media. My days often feel rushed and kind of chaotic, and I find myself not having enough time to finish anything that I want to, and I always feel like I'm a little bit behind and like I can never quite find a good balance. And I actually didn't realize how much that had been weighing on me lately, and that's when I turned to today's sponsor, which is BetterHelp. BetterHelp connected me with a therapist who helped me make better sense of everything that was swirling around in my head. She asked the questions that I didn't know I needed to be asked, and little by little I started to feel less scattered. A therapist is really so great because they help you see things from a new perspective, and they can give you advice on how to make positive change in your life. BetterHelp is the sponsor of today's video, and they're on a mission to help make starting therapy easier. You can fill out a questionnaire online and be matched with a therapist in as little as a couple days. And you can easily switch therapists if you don't think it's the right fit at no extra cost. Click the link in my description and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Anyways, now that I've got my beverage, it's time to get sewing. these are all my pieces cut out. I ended up doing 4 pairs of the Clover pattern. I did 2 shorts and 2 pants in a variety of sizes because babies grow so fast. I didn't want to make everything in just one size. And since they grow fast, they're also changing sizes through different seasons. So I tried to plan what I think they'll be fitting at the right time. Hopefully it works out because some babies are big, some babies are small. I know with my 2 boys, they were so different in size. My first was a very chunky, big baby, and my second was a very small and slender guy, and he still is. So he was always a little bit behind in sizes, and my older son was always ahead. But hopefully these are pretty good guesstimates. And then I just cut out 1 pair of overalls for now, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through all of this. I also didn't cut into that linen with the little birds on it, because I'm not quite sure that the overalls are a great match for that one. So I'm going to save that until I find the perfect project for it, because that piece is really special and I want to make sure the pattern that I choose for it is perfect. So I'm going to start with the pants and just like batch sew, speed sew through all of them using the same thread. They all can use white thread, and we'll just do a little assembly line to pump these out. All right, I have batch serged everything, so I just serged the side seams and the inseams. And I think batch sewing is so great because now all of this is done. I don't have to worry about this later for when I'm making each one. And I kind of like that they're grouped together in the sizes, but now we'll just get to sewing all the legs together and then inserting the elastic waistband and hemming. I don't think it's gonna take me too long. It is 12:54 right now, and I think I can probably do this in about an hour. We'll see. So you may or may not have noticed that I do not use pins when I sew, and basically it's because it slows me down and also because I get poked way too often. But I find that when you're sewing, you usually have to adjust your pieces, even if you have pinned them. So I kind of feel like pins just get in my way, and I just sew, you know, a few inches at a time and readjust as I go, and I feel like that is a lot better. But I do pin sometimes, like I'm using a couple clips right now for the crotch seam because I want the seams to line up exactly. Or if I'm sewing something that's like very tricky, like a bustier or something like that, I'll use pins. But yeah, that is also one of the reasons that I can sew so fast. I do get that comment a lot, or like a question is, how do I sew so fast? And I just am a fast person. I think I make things fast. I do things fast. I think I talk fast. Maybe that's also like a symptom of ADHD. I don't know. But I hate doing things slow. And it's funny because my husband is the complete opposite of me. And he's like the sloth from Zootopia, which drives me insane sometimes. But I also think it's kind of good because we complement each other. He slows me down when I'm just like frantic. I'm much more like the squirrel from Ice Age. I don't know why I have so many cartoon references today. Maybe because I'm watching too many movies with my kids. These are looking pretty good right now. I am not following the instructions. I'm just going to sew them how I feel like sewing them because they're a very simple pattern. So next we're going to sew the crotch seam together. I kind of forgot that I was batch sewing, so I sewed these ones almost to completion. I just have to insert the elastic and hem them, but they're looking so cute and they're so tiny. That only took me 15 minutes. So now I'm just gonna go through the next 3 pairs and sew all the side seams, inseams, and crotch seams. And then I'll do the waistbands for all of them at the same time too. So I decided to reuse the pockets on the dress shirts. They were a little too big to be back pockets on these because these are tiny. So I ended up putting them on the side seam, kind of like a hip pocket. Okay, so I have 3 pairs sewn. I really should have written the size on here better. So I have 1 0 to 3, 0 to 3 shorts. These are 6 to 9. So I'm just cutting my elastic. The 0 to 3 takes a 13.5 inch elastic, and I'm just gonna cut this in half with my serger. I'm gonna serge along the halfway line because this is 2-inch elastic. Actually, I do have 1-inch elastic, but since I already cut this, I'm gonna serge it in half. For the 6 to 9 month, I need 15 inches. So I have this kind of like random scrap of elastic. So I'm gonna cut this one to 15. Now we just have to insert all this elastic into the waistbands. I'm finished my 2 pairs of pants and 1 pair of shorts. That took me about an hour and a half, a little longer than I thought. But look at how adorable they are. I forgot how small baby clothes are. These are so cute. Let's see. But this is the seersucker pair. They're so cute with the little pocket on the side. And this is the gingham pair. And now I have about an hour and a half to do the overalls. And they're a bit more complicated, but not too bad, I don't think. But I do have to probably look at the instructions. So we're gonna start on those now. I have started on the overalls. I just changed out my needle to a denim needle because this is pretty thick denim. And we are starting with the pockets. So these go on the front of the overalls. So we're going to top stitch these first, and then we're going to also prep this pocket. And I chose this really adorable wiener dog tag that I have that says cool, 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 cool. And I feel like my sister-in-law is gonna love that. So yeah, we are going to dive in and get started. I'm just having a lunch break. I'm just having leftovers from last night. I made, it doesn't look very good, but it's like a ground beef broccoli stir fry with a lot of sriracha. This pattern has come together really quickly and I really like it. I'm gonna redo this seam right here because the pockets don't quite match up. Once I do that, I think the last things to do are put the little front pocket with the dog on it and sew the facings and then some buttonholes. So this is a really simple pattern and I'm definitely gonna be reusing this again because it's really cute and pretty easy to sew. All right, I have everything done. Here are my 3 pairs of Clover pants and shorts, the gingham, the seersucker, and the striped shorts. And these are the finished overalls. They're so cute. I am obsessed with how these turned out. They're adorable. And I decided to go with the turquoise buttons because they were feeling very like 90s to me, and just knowing my sister-in-law, that is definitely like her vibe. And I think the turquoise is really cute with the little tag. I feel like I was actually a little bit slow with making these just because it was my first time making them, but next time I'll be able to do it like without looking at the instructions. They're really simple to construct. They turned out so nice. I can't wait to give all this stuff to her. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I sewed all these baby things, and I will see you in the next video.